Coco Gauff fights through tears serving. Woes at U.S. Open. Coco Gauff fights through tears and serving struggles to advance at U.S. Open. American tennis star Coco Gauff advanced to the third round of the U.S. Open. She defeated Croatia's Donovic in a tense match. The contest took place Thursday night in New York's Arthur Ashe Stadium. Gauff won with a score of 7-65, 6-2 despite visible emotional and technical challenges. Coco Gauff's emotional victory at U.S. Open. Gauff was seen wiping away tears between points. Her serving difficulties were a major issue throughout the match. She hit 7 double faults in the first set alone. This follows a pattern of serving troubles that have plagued her season. She recently hired a new coach to address this problem. Gavin McMillan is a biomechanics expert. He previously helped rebuild Aryna Sabalenka's serve. The work is clearly still in progress. According to match reports, Gauff lost her serve 4 times in the opening set. She managed to break back immediately. Each time, the set went to a tiebreaker, which Gauff won. She then took a break to regroup, overcoming adversity on the court. The second set was a different story. Gauff appeared more composed and focused. She only double faulted once. After the break, she held all of her service games comfortably. Her powerful baseline game and strong defense carried her through. The crowd support, which included gymnast Simone Biles, also provided a lift. Gauff said she was inspired by Biles' presence in the stadium. This one comes after a difficult first-round match. Gauff also needed 3 sets to win her opening game. She is the 2023 U.S. Open champion and won the French Open in June. Gauff's resilience under pressure proves her champion mentality. Her ability to win, despite significant serving issues, highlights her deep well of talent. The U.S. Open continues to test the young star's resolve. Thought you'd like to know why was Coco Gauff crying during her match? How did Coco manage to win the match? What is the issue with Coco Gauff? Serve? Who did Coco Gauff beat in the second round? Has Coco Gauff won the U.S. Open before? On a hot August night in New York City under the blinding lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium, Coco Gauff didn't just play a tennis match. She fought a war, not just against her opponent, but against herself. The crowd came for a show. They got a storm. Tears double, faults, clenched fists, and whispered pep talks between points. It wasn't pretty, but it was real. It was raw. And for Coco Gauff, it was something far more important than a straight sets win. It was a battle of becoming. The weight of a crown. Coco is only 21, still barely old enough to rent a car, but already bearing the weight of a nation's hope, a sport's future, and a legacy too massive for most to comprehend. Since she burst onto the scene at Wimbledon at 15, Gauff has been labeled the next one, the heir, the hope. She's not just expected to win, she's expected to lead, to inspire, to dominate. But tennis doesn't care about pressure. Tennis doesn't wait for you to figure it all out. And under the lights of Flushing Meadows, her serve began to crack, then her composure, then almost her spirit. Underscore, serve and survival. It wasn't just one bad toss. It wasn't just one shaky motion. It was 8 double faults. It was second serves that barely cleared the net. It was first serve that missed by feet. Each one chipped away at her rhythm, her confidence, her game. The camera caught it all. The lip quivering, the eyes blinking back tears, the racket gripped tighter with every mistake. She turned to her box where a team, her parents, her coaches sat, and her expression said everything. Why can't I fix this? But here's the thing about Coco Gauff. She doesn't fold. Tears is fuel. Gauff has always worn her Emotions, honestly, and that night was no different. She cried during changeovers, covering her face with a towel. She shouted at herself after errors, and yet, point by point, she clawed her way back. It would have been easy to unravel, to let the emotions flood in and wash the match away. Many do, but not Coco. She stopped chasing perfection and started chasing survival. She adjusted. She moved better. She fought for every return. And slowly, she turned the tide. Not with aces, but with willpower. The crowd carries her, the U.S. Open crowd. Wild and vocal as ever, became more than spectator haters. They became witnesses. Witnesses to a young woman battling a game, a breakdown in entire arenas. Expectations. When she missed, they groaned. When she landed a winner, they roared. By the time she saved break, points late in the second set, the stadium shook with every shot. And Gauff, emotional and exhausted, looked up to the stands like a boxer hearing the bell for one more round. The fans didn't just support her, they lifted her, not because she was flawless, but because she was fearless. The turning point at 4-4 in the second set, with momentum swinging like a pendulum and a serve still unreliable. Gauff faced a brutal 30-30 point. Her second serve wobbled in. Her opponent pounced. A baseline rally ensued. It wasn't beautiful. It was gritty. It was a backhand into the corner, a forehand, off balance, a lunging return, and then a scream from Gauff as she hit a clean. Winner down the line. That scream wasn't joy. It was release. A release of tension, of frustration, of fear. In that moment, she let go of the panic and remembered who she was. She wasn't a kid prodigy anymore. She was a grown woman, learning, fighting, growing in real time. The win that was more than a win. When the final point ended, when Gauff raised her arms and exhaled like someone escaped a storm. The scoreboard didn't capture the truth of the night. Yes, it was a win. 2 tough sets. She'd lived to fight another round, but this wasn't a night about tennis stats. It wasn't about rankings or headlines. It was about grit, about a young champion, showing the world that vulnerability isn't weakness. It's part of the process. You can cry and compete. You can struggle and survive. You can be human and still be historic. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share.